8 Mick says, my country is not your church. Amen. Amen. And you know the day is coming. Okay, so we've been talking about this book, On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century. It's great. I've been reading it slowly, and I've been allowing it to germinate within me. So chapter 2 is about institutions and how we have to protect our institutions. Protecting our institutions matters. And if we lose one, we will eventually lose 2, and then we'll lose 4, and then we'll lose 9, and they will fall like dominoes. So the idea for me, as I was reading his words, I was thinking about, those, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but when I was in elementary school, we did social studies. We talked about bison, buffalo, great big massive heads with the horns. Bison, I think their name is bison, I think. But anyway, bison, prairie bison. When they get attacked, what they do is they form a big circle, and all the sick and all the young and all the older bison get in the middle, and all the big, strong, tough bison, they face outward. And so if a wolf, or probably just a wolf or a bear or something coming at the bison, they're facing horns. You're not getting through, you're facing horns. That's how they handled danger. Another image is when I studied Greek history. It was the Spartans. The way the Spartan army fought was interlocking shields side by side. The Spartans, fascinatingly enough, this was something that I learned when I was in university. My professor, loved the guy to death. His name was Professor Dr. Konishi. And he told us that within the Spartan army, one of the things that they would do is, yes, every Spartan had to have a wife and they were supposed to have kids. But within the army, the guy beside them was supposed to be their companion, right? Their lover. They were supposed to take this person as a partner, as a romantic sexual partner during the war season, because I'm much more likely to fight harder and harder and harder for the guy beside me if I have that kind of relationship than I am if it's just some random, right? Again, I'm not claiming it's gospel. Take it up with Konishi if that's the case, if I'm wrong. But what I'm getting at is there are ways for us to defend our institutions. Right? And especially from the church perspective, there are ways for us to defend our institutions. Church is an institution. Places of worship, institutions. Places of faith are institution. Faith organizations are institutions. Schools, hospitals, the media, newspapers, television, radio, Internet's these are all institutions. Whether we like it or not, whether they're producing the stuff that we believe in or agree with or not, it doesn't make a difference. They're all really important institutions. And they've all got to be protected. Because when tyranny comes, they tear down the institutions. Or they make the institutions bow down to them. Tyrants, tyranny, authoritarianism, they want to control or destroy the institutions. Either way, they're no longer for the people, right? A destroyed institution can't serve the people. An institution that's serving the tyrant or the authoritarian cannot serve the people. We need to protect our institutions. We need to join together and protect our institutions. Institutions need to join together to protect one another, because if one of us falls, there's now a gap in the shields. If one of us falls, there's a gap in the circle, and all of us are now in danger. And so for the church, we need to be standing up for the newspapers. We need to be standing up for the television stations, for the news outlets. We need to be standing up for places where information is shared. We need to be standing up for the libraries and for the educational institutions. We need to be standing up for the think tanks and for the critics. And in today's world, he's offering lessons from the 20th century, but in today's world, institutions are so diverse and so different. We as church need to be standing up defending them, because if we don't, we church, we people of faith, our institutions of faith, we will fall too. We will absolutely fall too. We need to protect all those institutions that are around us. We need to protect all those institutions that take care of and provide for the people we love. Provide for the people we are called to provide for. We need to protect those institutions. And in the same breath, and sadly, this is something that we're seeing in Canada and in the US, we need to protect ourselves from influence, from the influence of tyranny, from the influence of authoritarianism. We need to protect ourselves from the influence of those political ideologies that would ask us, would pull us ever so eloquently, ever so sweetly, would, like the siren song, pull us towards the tyrant, pull us towards the authoritarian with the promises of, we got your back. Oh, we're here to protect you. Oh, we believe in everything you believe in, and we're going to ensure the whole world does it too. All you have to do is follow us. All you have to do is maybe turn a blind eye from time to time. Understand that the things we're doing, it might seem harsh, but we're doing it for the right reasons, for the godly reasons. Yes, I understand that our methods may not be the way you really think we should be doing things, but if you just get on board, if you just follow along, eventually this will be the world you've always imagined it to be, for the low, low price of someone else's suffering. Sounds far-fetched, I know, but it's happened, right? It's happened. The church, this has happened to the church before. Some guy with a weird little mustache stands up and says, the basis of our country is found in the Christian faith. And the Christians went, oh my God, yes, of course it is. We're with you. We're going to do some horrible things here. Well, try not to do too many horrible things, right? But the Christian church in the nation of that fellow with the weird little mustache, about a third of them got on board. 40 million Protestant Christians, and about a third of them got on board. About a third of them promised not to say anything. They were just going to be neutral. About a third of them, maybe less, probably less, decided this isn't okay. We're going to keep going the way Jesus is calling us to go. And ultimately they were destroyed by that. They were outlawed, banned, forced to go underground, arrested, in some cases killed, executed by that man with the funny little mustache. They allowed the influence in. The church, the Protestant side of it, we won't even talk about the other side of it, but the Protestant side of it, they allowed the influence in. They were divided, and they were conquered. The church that followed him were completely ineffective. They led people away from Jesus. The church that was neutral, in their silence, they found their destruction. Their compliance and their obedience, they found their destruction. And for the church that had to go underground, eventually the persecution came their way. The church must defend the institutions that serve the people they are called to serve, that the church is called to serve. We must recognize that those institutions, as different as they are from us, as different as they appear to be from us, serve a valuable purpose in our mission. We must recognize that they are a service, a loving service to the people that we are called to love. They're assisting in our mission. If we don't, they'll get picked off one by one, and eventually the tyrant will come for us. And we need to ensure that we stay on point. We stay focused on the one who saved us. We stay focused on the one who calls us. We stay focused on Jesus Christ. We stay focused on the Son of God. We stay focused in walking the path that he has called us to walk, saying the things that he has called us to say, doing the things that he has called us to do, providing for the people that he has called us to provide for. We've got to stay true to his ways. We can't veer to the left or to the right for the sake of achieving something through these authoritarians. Seeing the world that we dream of come to fruition through the work of these tyrants and authoritarians. We've got to say no. That's not our path. Yeah, it sounds great, but that's not our path. Yeah, it sounds wonderful, but that's not our path. We're staying on this path. We must never be silent about what the tyrants do, because the minute we allow them in, as I say this, it's almost a sense it's already happening. We've let the ideology in, we've let the authoritarianism in, we've left the tyranny in. It's already dividing us. Hold firm. Hold firm so that even in our division, we won't be conquered. Hold firm that even if we are conquered, even if we are conquered, we maintain our righteousness. We stay on the path that Jesus calls us to. Amen.